To let go of anger and resentment, follow along with me. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, the one thing that people do differently in successful long-term relationships is that they forgive. And I've definitely experienced this firsthand because my dad and I used to be in a pretty bad relationship. We have grown much closer since then, and I can confidently say that my dad and I are basically best friends. I'm super grateful for him, and I've been able to do this process over and over, going from grudge to gratitude. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first step of this forgiveness process is to first identify someone who's hurt you. Like, it doesn't matter, it could be something very small, something very big. It could be a parent, like maybe your mom or your dad. It could be a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and it could even be yourself. And then identify how did they hurt you. Just pick one thing. You can make a list of tons of things and you can go through this process over and over to keep going down that list. But basically, choose one thing that person did and focus on that for this process. And then when you have it in mind, rate your level of stress around what that person did on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most stress. If it occurs like even more than a 10, you could even say 1,000 or whatever makes sense for you. When you think about that, what we're going to do is we're going to raise your right hand and then flip your hand and wrap your opposite hand around and hold down all 3 fingers on those pulse points. And you'll know that you're holding in the right place if you can feel your pulse there. And then hold down that first finger underneath the crease of the wrist. Put your palm on your forehead, close your eyes, and when you think about what this person did, breathe out feeling dogmatically positioned, like this shouldn't be happening. Feeling sad, grief, crying, anguish, cloudy thinking, feeling defensive, yearning, and compelled to perfection. Again, breathe out feeling like this shouldn't be happening, this isn't right. So being dogmatically positioned. Feeling sad. Oh, and if you'd like, you can lean your elbows down on a table in front of you if you have one, or you can lay all the way back while doing this to have gravity help you. Anyway, breathe out feeling sad, grief, crying, anguish, cloudy thinking, feeling defensive, yearning, and compelled to perfection. Now, feel free to bring your arm down when you feel a shift. So you may notice that you might feel your heart rate slowing down, you might feel yourself relaxing. As we're going through it, you might even notice yourself yawning. And basically what's happening is that as we breathe and we focus on these emotions, it seems like it activates our parasympathetic nervous system. So putting our bodies into rest and digest mode. And something about holding these points on our forehead, these neurovascular points, seems to help stimulate blood flow and to lower our stress. Anyway, so now that you have that level of stress in mind about the same situation, the same thing that that person did, we're going to go down to that second point on the same wrist. So hold on all three fingers right underneath that crease of the wrist and hold on that second point. And put your right hand on your forehead, close your eyes, and feel free to breathe out any worry, over concern, lack of control over events, lack of control over other people, feeling hopeless, despair, nervous, stifled, obsessed, distrust, disgust, low self-esteem, feeling oversympathetic, feeling selfish, sensitive to someone else's selfishness. Again, breathe out feeling worry, over concern, lack of control over events, lack of control over other people, feeling hopeless, despair, nervous, stifled, obsessed, distrust, disgust, low self-esteem, oversympathetic, and feeling selfish or sensitive to someone else's selfishness. And feel free to breathe all those out until you feel a shift. Any of these emotions that resonate with you. And now, ask yourself where that stress is now on a scale of 0 to 10. And with that number in mind, we're going to continue on to that third pulse point down on that same hand, on the same wrist. And put your right hand on your forehead, holding down that third pulse point. Close your eyes, and let's breathe out feeling paranoia about the situation. And feeling like you just can't figure it out. Muddled thinking. Muddled instability. Emotional instability. Feeling vulnerable and insecure. lost, depleted, suppressed, feeling a need to numb out, abandoned, deserted, a sense of profoundly deep, unrequited love. And if it occurs, frightfully overjoyed, as in feeling like whatever's happening is too good to be true. Again, feel free to breathe out any of these emotions that resonate. Feeling paranoia, like you just can't figure it out, whatever it is. The muddled thinking, muddled instability, the emotional instability, feeling vulnerable and insecure, lost, depleted, suppressed, feeling a need to numb out, feeling abandoned, deserted, a sense of profoundly deep, unrequited love. Like you love someone and they don't love you back. And breathe all those out until you feel a shift. Now, ask yourself, where's that stress level now when you think about that same situation? That same thing that someone did that hurt you. This time we're going to go to the left hand. So raise your left hand, flip it around, and you'll notice, and on the thumb side, underneath the crease of the wrist, we have these 3 pulse points. So then hold down the 3rd pulse point there, and put your palm on your forehead, close your eyes, and feel free to breathe out any of these emotions that resonate with you. Breathe out the fear, dread, paralyzed will, feeling miffed, feeling timid, impending doom, like something bad is going to happen, bad memory, mental funk, feeling wishy-washy, and inefficient. Again, feel free to breathe out any fear, dread, paralyzed will, feeling timid, miffed, a sense of impending doom, bad memory, mental funk, feeling wishy-washy, and feeling inefficient. And breathe all those out until you feel a shift. Now, ask yourself, what's that level of stress now when you think about that same situation? Now, with a number in mind, let's go back to the left hand and hold down all three fingers, and then hold down that second pulse point. And put your palm on your forehead, close your eyes, and let's breathe out feeling anger and any resentment, gall, frustration, irrationality, aggression, depression, emotional repression, feeling betrayed, bitter, aggravated, irritated, indecision, and stubborn, or sensitive to someone else being stubborn. Again, breathe out any anger, resentment, gall, frustration, irrationality, aggression, depression, and emotional repression, feeling betrayed, bitter, aggravated, irritated, indecision, and stubborn. Or stubborn against someone else being stubborn. And breathe all those out until you feel a shift. Ask yourself, what's that level of stress now when you think about that same situation, that same thing that someone's done that's hurt you, the same person you've been struggling to forgive. And with that in mind, we're going to do something slightly different. So raise your right hand and locate this point at the base of your thumb. It should be slightly tender, slightly sore. It's called point 0. And there's also an equivalent point 0 on the other hand. But on this hand, I'm personally going to go with my right hand. You can do your right or your left. And then with the opposite hand, you'll hold down point 0, that tender spot, and put your palm on your forehead, close your eyes, and feel free to breathe out any shame, guilt, feeling mortified, embarrassed, awkward, bashful, self-conscious, confused, bullied, wounded pride, humiliated, dishonored, disgraced, feeling infamous, and maybe sensitive to someone else having these next few emotions. False pride, arrogance, false self-assuredness, disdain, and disdainfulness. Again, breathe out any shame, guilt, feeling mortified, embarrassed, awkward, bashful, self-conscious, confused, bullied, wounded pride, feeling humiliated, dishonored, disgraced, infamous, like you've been made famous for something bad. And on the flip side, feel free to breathe out any arrogance, either in yourself or the other person. False pride, false self-assuredness, disdain, and disdainfulness. And breathe all those out until you feel a shift. Now, where are your levels of stress now when you think about that same thing, that same situation? And for any residual stress, let's go back to the left hand and hold down that first pulse point. And you're going to likely recognize some of these emotions. Put your hand on your forehead, close your eyes, and this time let's breathe out any paranoia. Any remaining sense that we just can't figure it out. Muddled thinking. Muddled instability. Emotional instability. Feeling vulnerable and insecure. Lost. Depleted. Suppressed. Feeling a need to numb out. Feeling abandoned. Deserted. A sense of profoundly deep, unrequited love, like you love someone and they don't love you back. And a sense of whenever things are going well, it's just too good to be true, so frightfully overjoyed. Again, feeling paranoia, muddled thinking, feeling like you just can't figure it out. Muddled instability, emotional instability, feeling vulnerable and insecure, lost, depleted, suppressed, feeling a need to numb out, feeling abandoned, deserted, sense of profoundly deep, unrequited love. Like you love someone and they don't love you back. And lastly, feeling frightfully overjoyed, like it's just too good to be true. Like you can't trust that when things are going good that they're going to stay that way. And when you feel a shift, feel free to bring your arm down. And finally, rate your level of stress about this situation, about this person, what they've done to hurt you again, a specific thing you chose. So yeah, that was the full process that I used to forgive. You're more than welcome to go back to the beginning of the video to do more forgiveness, and I'll leave you a timestamp somewhere on the screen to make that easier for you. If you'd like to do more of this technique, I encourage you to check out the next Sunday call. My dad hosts these free Sunday Zoom calls at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. They're stress relief calls using this same technique, the same modality, and I'm always there co-hosting, so it'll be fun to see each other there. So feel free to check out that link in the description to this video. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. Bye!